Hey everybody, how's it going? It's AJ here with Dirt Tracks TV. I'm just doing a little bit of a testimonial for the new Scott Goggle products. I got some old stuff here too, just showing you guys that we're not, we don't just kind of jump on board with one brand and not really have any history. I got old goggles here. I'm pretty sure I raced at Glen Helen like 9 years ago with those. These ones, same thing. I raced somewhere in the U.S. with that set with the tear-offs on them. Actually, there's probably still a little bit of the mud left on there from that race. And then I got my new prospectors or prospects here. Wicked goggle. I've been running these ones here for a little bit under 6 months right now. Actually, it might be right around 6 months. And I've got a couple sets of them, but I've been putting these ones through their paces. It's kind of funny because you look at these and you go, yeah, right, you just pulled these out of the box. I kid you not. I've power washed these, which I know you're probably not supposed to do. Still a little bit of staining on some of the white, but that happens. I have run mud races with these. I have done, I've been at high altitude with sleds with these, side-by-sides. I mean, you name it. I even ride my KTM dual sport bike back and forth to work and wear these, taking gravel on the road, direct hits to the face, all kinds of stuff. And I'm super, super excited about just the quality of these goggles. So I know maybe, in the summertime, you might not want to run dual layer, and 3-layer face foam. I actually prefer it. I'm used to it. I like dual layer lenses. They work great. They don't fog. The 3-layer face foam on this, yeah, it's kind of more of a winter sport type thing. But honestly, during the summer, it keeps the dust out of your face and out of your eyes. Super important for me. It does have 3 actual layers there. There's like a little comfort layer that doesn't kind of, make your face get, sometimes like I've experienced with other goggle brands that have really kind of low quality face foam. If it's this mid layer, I'm not sure exactly what the name of the mid layer foam is, but if that stuff sits against your face, and naturally we all sweat when we're ripping and riding hard, I find that it actually causes your face sometimes to break out and just get kind of, itchy, and it bothers you. This has got Scott's 3rd layer of foam inside of here, this gray layer, which is super, super comfortable on your face. It absorbs, moisture, sweat, whatever. Having all this foam here means that if you're ripping through the water and whatnot as well, there's somewhere for some of that to go, so it doesn't just go right down your face and into your eyes. They're really well sealed, but they do have tons of venting all the way around the outside, all the way across the top, even down through the bottom. There's lots and lots of venting. This one comes with the little nose piece already on it. I like just the little tiny one. You can get the one that has the bigger beaks on it, and some of the other Scott brands or Scott products have that. I prefer this one because my MX helmet already has the big chin piece on that helmet, so it's harder to get the larger peak or the larger little beak thing inside of the nose piece of your helmet. I wear the LS2 helmet and it just doesn't fit in well. So this little guy fits perfectly. You can tuck it in behind, gives you the perfect amount of protection, but then also doesn't feel like you're kind of stifled in there. And if you do get hot and you're breathing hard and ripping and riding hard, doesn't keep you from breathing and give you any issues that way. Like I said, though, I've been running these goggles for right about 6 months now, and this lens that's called the Amplifier, let me see if I can get it there, Amplifier Cat S2, is super strong. I'm not joking you. I've run pretty much any brand you throw out there. I've had their goggles, I've put good time on them, and I've beat them up. You can see maybe just a couple light scratches on there, and I'm pretty sure that most of those are from riding dual sport on the road and getting pieces of gravel shot at me from cars and trucks. This lens is incredibly strong, incredibly tough, and the coating on it, that kind of cool, multicolored reflectional coating, it stood up crazy good. Been out at CKMP with Carl Kuster, been out west in West Yellowstone with Dan Adams, with all kinds of different people, had these things completely iced up. In fact, one night I was out for a rip with a buddy, and we were an hour from the office from here where I work, and coming down the lakes doing probably anywhere from 90 to 110 mile an hour, and it starts to freeze rain, and these goggles got completely coated. The whole face of the goggles totally done in. So I'm using that little scraper piece on the side of my FXR goggles, and I'm just going to town on these things. Just like I thought for sure, I get home, these goggles are wrecked, I'm gonna have to put a new lens in. But I got home, right? I get home after we were literally scraping the face of the goggles every probably 15 to 20 seconds. You'd have to be, doing the old scratch on the goggles, going at it with that windshield wiper blade piece that's in the goggle or in the glove. And I was certain that they'd be destroyed. That's after that. And then after what? April, May, June, July, and almost all of August riding dirt as well. And like I say, I've got a couple pair of these goggles, but these ones have seen the most riding, the most abuse, and they're in great shape. Honestly, even the rubber on the inside of the straps isn't all peeling off. You get that from some of those brands and some goggles that people just kind of throw together. These ones stay there. The goggle strap stays where it's supposed to on your helmet. One of the nice things I like about it is it doesn't matter really what helmet you wear. The articulating outriggers on these are perfect. They adjust to the adjust to the helmet. And it doesn't matter really how you put the goggle strap over your head. You're not worried about ripping it off. They can articulate right over forward. So when you peel that strap from behind over the front of the goggle or the front of the helmet, which some people do when they're pulling them off and pull, it doesn't break the mount off the side, which some of them do. They got the little piece back in here where it's white. They got the little goggle strap holder, and it's kind of cheesy and flimsy, and you pull on it too hard and it snaps off. I've ripped these things off pretty hard multiple times, and they don't come out. They stay secured. The goggle strap hasn't come out. It's got like this cool anchor inside of there, a plastic anchor instead of just the end of the the goggle strap with like a double over stitch. It's actually got a cool plastic piece that actually holds it and anchors it in there. So I know some people will say, oh, well, why are you spending all this time on goggles? Well, guess what? If you don't have your vision, you can't ride. And when I ride, I don't ride with a full face because I love wearing my MX helmet. I love wearing goggles. I love the feel of it. I love the field of view and the vision. You can notice over the years how much bigger their goggles have gotten. The field of view is so much bigger now. You put these things on and it's just like you got a boatload of vision inside of there. It's great. And I do like kind of that I don't know, bottle, Coke bottle type color, that brownish type color that these give. It's almost an amber. Cuts down big time on the glare when I'm riding, whether it be on an MX bike, whether it be on an ATV, a side-by-side. I like having that coating on there because it does cut down the glare for sure, cuts down the UV and just helps me to see better. But I wear goggles like 5 days a week, and then on the weekends as well when I'm out riding personally. So they're an important part of what I do, and it's important to keep my eyes safe and keep dust and crud out of there. And the other thing that I find really important with goggles, you want to feel secure that if you're going to take a roost, whether it be from your buddy's 1000cc turbo side-by-side or from a sled with a 2.5 inch lug track and 170 plus horsepower, you're going to take a hit from that. Or even out on the road when I'm riding my dual sport bike and I get a piece of gravel in the face. I've had goggles before that have either cracked the lens or the actual lens becomes loose from the frame after taking a hit. And that doesn't make me feel very good. And I have not had these lenses come off as of yet. They haven't popped out. They haven't snapped out. Nothing. I've taken some pretty good bails. I've fallen off in the mountains multiple times. Had peaks broken off, all that kind of stuff. And these goggles just keep on going. And they do have like this system, I think they call it lens lock, that actually holds the lens into the goggle frame, and it doesn't just snap out super easy like some of the other brands do. And even some of their older stuff, these older goggles would actually, potentially you could have them come out a little bit, but they've updated that and really done a good job at making the new goggle line super secure, super safe. The ability to take that intense roost when you're ripping over the top of a cornice or whatever, and you're following somebody too close on a sled, and oh no, this is gonna, I'm gonna get a face full, or you're ripping in the sand with a buddy, ripping on the rocks, ripping out in the mud, and you're too close, and you're in the position where you're gonna get a face full, and that the guy ahead of you wants to give you that, and completely cover you. These things, they're not going to let go, and we've had great luck with them. And it's not luck; it's just that they're designed really well. So I'm really excited about that. I like Scott goggles. I like their products. Scott does a whole bunch of different stuff. My brother Luke is a complete nut over mountain bikes, and he's got a couple of their Scott mountain bikes, and they're impressive. Their running shoes are great. Their glasses are super cool. They've got all kinds of stuff, outerwear, under layers. The company does a whole lot of stuff. They do downhill skis. I mean, all kinds of stuff. These guys are really focused on sports, but another part that I like about Scott is that they're not just focused on non-motorized sports. These guys are really focused on MX, snowmobile, you know, whatever it is that you're doing outdoors. This company is cool with it. And some of those goggle companies are a little elitist when it comes that way. And it's like, oh yeah, you guys are doing, you guys are doing something with a motor. We're not really interested. Scott's not that way. These guys are cool with motors. They're cool with self-propulsion. They're cool with whatever it is. As long as you're outside having fun, they build a product to help you out. So anyways, I think it's definitely worth you guys taking a look. If you're looking for some new goggles, yeah, you can buy like the cheap, $19 ones that are single pane lens that will do absolutely nothing for your eyes in the way of protection or safety, but they might keep some dust out for a little while. Or you can invest in something like these, Scott Prospectors that are just an absolute beast of a goggle. I can't say enough good things about them. You're going to spend a bit more. If you're comparing it to a dirty cheap brand, you're going to spend a bit more. They are absolutely worth it. I'm telling all you guys out there on ATVs and side-by-sides, 110% worth the investment. They'll be around for a long time. Now, for any of you guys who do buy quality, higher end brand goggles, I'm here to tell you, I've ridden every brand of goggle, put lots of time in on all of them, and none of them have stood the test like these Scotts do. And that's not me telling you that because Scott sends me some product. Not it at all. I'm telling you that because these are genuinely the best goggles that I've ever used. You can take that to the bank, and you can put my stamp on it because I endorse these 110%, and I'll continue to use them because they're a great goggle. They keep my eyes safe. They keep me focused. They give me the best field of view that I've had out of any goggle thus far, and that's important when we're out having fun or when it's my job, and I got to stay focused and got to keep the rubber side down and the wheels between the trees. So anyways, I think you guys should check them out. There's all kinds of different websites. You can get Scott from pretty much every major supplier. You look up Scott goggles and you're going to find them just about everywhere. So have a look, give them a shot, and don't hesitate to buy a pair because they've been around for a long time. They're doing great stuff. They support the sports. They're into power sports. They're not just they're not a for lack of a better term, they're not a bunny hugger company where they look down on motorsports, and I really respect that. These are cool people. They're great to work with, and number one, their product, well, it's the best. So hope you guys enjoy that, and go get yourself some sweet Scott goggles. Thanks for watching Dirt Tracks TV. If you liked the video that you just saw, please click the like button as well as comment below. You can subscribe to our page right here and also ring the bell if you want to be notified of any future videos coming out on Dirt Tracks TV's YouTube page.